Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's March 31st. It's the last day in March. Tomorrow is April the 1st, April Fool's Day. It's also my sister's anniversary, her and her husband's anniversary, so happy anniversary to you, Tabitha, even though you probably are not watching this. But anyway, really quick, I opened my calendar today when I got up here, and I really like this. It says, be stronger than your strongest excuse. I thought about all of us during this time when I read that, because of all this distance learning. It's definitely different for all of us, and I know it takes a lot of independence on all of our parts to get our work done. So remember, just keep up with everything, chip away at it every day. If you can wait until Friday to get all your work done, more power to you, but I hope you're getting a little bit done each day. Okay, so I thought we'd start with that. First thing I want to talk about, I kind of left this off my video yesterday, but theater kids. Okay, my theater kids. Two things I asked you to do this week. One, I asked you to do another TikTok, but I gave you some stipulations on it. You need to get in the classroom and read those. And the second thing I asked you to do was I asked you to pick a line from this year's One Act Play, Treasure Island, and tell me why it's your favorite line. Now remember, if you're a cast member, it does not have to be one that you said. It can be any line in the show. All right? So you're going to tell me what the line is, why it's your favorite, why it's so poignant, or why you think it's so important to the play. You're going to give me a little bit of an explanation for that. Now, when you're writing your response in my classroom, okay, whether it's in the classroom or it's an email, this goes for my theater kids, this goes for all of my ELA kids. Please, guys, just because we're doing it this way in this format, don't forget how to write properly, okay? Use proper punctuation, proper spelling, proper grammar, proper capitalization, which we're going to talk about in a second. Please do those things. Okay, remember, it's still English class, even though the format may be a little bit different. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th ELA, specifically 9th and 12th, because this will be one of the last things I say to you on this video, and you can shut it off, is make sure you're keeping up in the classroom. Seniors, you have a little bit more this week to do. I think for the most part, when it comes to the storytelling project section that I talk about in the classroom, most of you probably already had this done before we left during this break period. So make sure that you get all of that to me. 8th grade, your IXL, Jarrett Herzog, thank you. I saw Daly yesterday as well, and she told me too. I had made a mistake on your IXL, and I gave you 2 IXLs that you had actually already done. So I edited those yesterday in the classroom, and I updated those. I don't have them in front of me right now. Actually, maybe I do. So make sure that you know you're doing KK1, HH4, and QQ1. Okay, 8th grade, and I did put that in the classroom. Okay. All right. So if you're not in 8th, 10th, or 11th, you can shut the video off now. But for 8th, 10th, and 11th, we're going to talk about capitalization. 2 reasons why we're going to talk about it. Okay. First of all, you all 3 have IXLs this week over capitalization. Second reason is the entire reason why I gave you those IXLs is I've noticed a lot of trouble with capitalization lately in your responses in Google Classroom and in some of the emails I've been receiving, okay? So we're going to go over some stuff really quick with capitalization, just some basic capitalization rules that I've noticed being misused, whether it's in your responses or it's in the IXLs that I gave you yesterday. So first thing I'm going to talk about, and you all know this, this is just a review from past years, is there's 2 types of nouns, right? You've got common nouns and you've got proper nouns, okay? So what's the difference, okay? It's pretty easy to figure out what the difference is just from these 2 words. But the thing is a common noun is a generic noun, right? It's a generic noun. So like dog, cat, street, desk, chair. Those are generic nouns, right? But if something is a proper noun, it's a specific noun. So that means one is a particular person, place, thing, or idea, right? It's a title, okay? So some things that I've seen in the classroom just this morning that we need to talk about is, let's say, for example, you have the common noun street, okay? The word street. All right, so there's a street right out in front of the school, and it's actually Madison, okay? Madison Street. But if you're just talking about the street, it's generic. There's no title associated with it. There's nothing in front of this word that lets you know the specific street that we're talking about. So in this instance, it's lowercase, okay? However, if we wanted to be specific and we wanted to title that street, so maybe if someone came into town, they wanted to know where the school was, we would talk about Madison Street, right? Notice Madison's capitalized. Obviously, it's the last name of a former president, okay? Then we have our generic or our common noun street. Now, since we have the specific title in front of this common noun, you must also capitalize this noun as well. So altogether, that's a proper noun, okay? Same thing with the word president, okay? Or I saw this earlier, doctor. If you used it in a title, Dr. Jackson, right? President Trump. Even though these words right here by themselves, they're common nouns, in this fashion they work as a title, right? So all together they work as a title, which makes them proper, okay? Another thing that I noticed, which has to do with what's called kinship, okay? And kinship is just like family relations, okay? Mother, father, sister, brother, things like that. When you're talking about family, all right? Obviously, there's going to be many common nouns. Son, sister, mother, father, so on. Okay. So, if you use one of these common nouns possessively, like my son Dayton, okay? So we'll put this over here. My son Dayton. Now I'd go on with the sentence, whatever it was. Notice that when I use it possessively, this is not proper. Now the name is proper. That's a proper noun, okay? It's the specific name of a person. It's the specific title of a person. So that's a proper noun. But if I use it possessively to tell who my son is or who my mother is, so on and so forth, you do not capitalize this proper or this noun, excuse me. Okay, this is just a generic common noun, so you do not capitalize it. Only the title. Now, on the flip side, okay, and I notice people are having trouble with this today. On the flip side, if I use that common noun son in place of Dayton's name. So let's say, which I've done this many times, I said to Dayton, son, I need you to mow the yard. Okay? Now, I know that's at the beginning of a sentence, so obviously it's going to be capitalized. But the main thing I need you to notice here is instead of saying Dayton's name, I'm referring to him as son. I'm using son as his title, as his name. If that happens with kinship, that's always going to be a proper noun, okay? So let's say that someone said, once I knew mother I knew what she wanted me to do. Okay, so notice the word mother here. The word mother usually is just a common noun, okay? But in this sentence, the person writing uses the common noun mother as the title. That's who they refer to their mother as. It's like the name, okay? It's like saying Susan or Hillary. They just say mother. That's what they refer to that person as. So again, in that context, it's a proper noun. Okay, I've seen that a lot this morning, the kinship problem. So please know that. When it's possessive, like I used it up here, it is not proper. Okay, it's just common. If it's used as a title, okay, as the person's name, then you will make it a proper noun and you'll capitalize it. Other than that, some issues that I did see this morning. I saw someone that did not capitalize the Grand Canyon. Okay, obviously that's the title of a specific place. The Grand Canyon, it's a specific thing. I'm hoping that maybe that was just you overlooked it because we were going a little bit too fast. But things like that, like landmarks, guys, you should know that. And remember, you can use your resources. If you're not sure if something that's in the sentence is maybe a historical landmark or whatever it may be, use your Chromebook and look it up and use those resources that you have in front of you. Other than that, at the top, every question tells you how many capitalization errors are in each sentence. If it says that there's 3, make sure that you find 3, okay? Don't find 4 because there's only 3. So make sure you're reading that closely. And remember that when it asks for you to find the capitalization errors, it does not mean that you're always going to be needing to capitalize something. It may mean that there may be a word that's capitalized, sorry, I'm having trouble talking, I guess. And maybe it needs to be lowercase, okay? So it can be either or. So make sure that you look for that. It's not just you capitalizing words. It may be you needing to lowercase some words in the sentence, okay? But other than that, guys, if you have any trouble this week, if you have any trouble today, remember, you can call me, text me, email me, and we can FaceTime or we can talk on the phone, whatever it is that you need to do. We can do that, and I can get you the help that you need. But I hope that makes that a little bit more clear for you, and I hope that you guys all have a great Tuesday.